All right, guys, this week's AMA. As always, you've been leaving your comments below, your questions, and I'm gonna get to them. I'm back from Costa Rica. I got a nice tan going from there. I'm gonna try to keep that tan going and rocking. So yeah, back in the Bay and just gonna answer your questions. So let me know in the comments below your questions and we'll get to them. Let's jump into this week's AMA. This question is, Brendan, what do you think of ice cream? So obviously your traditional ice creams are not gonna be healthy. They're just like loaded up with sugar, old dairy. And what I mean by old dairy is you have to preserve that dairy because it's just sitting there on the shelves. But what you can do is make your own ice cream. It's actually amazing. You can almost make anything that you would think of as like a smoothie or like a protein shake into an ice cream with just some additions. So get an ice cream maker, make like a really good protein shake, pour it in the ice cream maker and try it out. Sometimes you'll have to add like some more egg yolks or something like that, which will help it make that ice cream consistency. There's some brands like Halo Top is probably the most popular where they made like a healthy ice cream. But what they really did there is just limit the amount of calories in ice cream. And if you know about health is just deeper than calories. So if you're trying to lose weight, you can find some ice cream options that are gonna be a bit lower in calories. But overall, make your own ice cream, try it out. I have a recipe in my cookbook where it's a homemade ice cream and it's way better. Okay, the next question is, will an animal-based diet lead to constipation? And if you're dealing with that, how can you avoid that? So, again, I don't do really an animal-based diet, so I'm adding in foods like white rice, like potatoes, like some veggies, because that fiber from potatoes and veggies, let's just use those sources, is gonna help with constipation. It's gonna help your bowels overall. That's why I add those foods into my diet. If you're just doing meat and fruit, you wanna up that amount of fruit a little bit if you're dealing with some constipation, and a supplement that can help you is magnesium glycinate. So get some magnesium glycinate. You can take like 200 milligrams of that at night, and that will help with constipation. There's a lot of studies on that. But yeah, I would throw in some potatoes, some veggies, and maybe supplement with a little magnesium glycinate. Okay, the next question is about chicken. So Brennan, when you're buying chicken, what are you going for? What are you looking for? Because I do eat chicken a few times per week. So here's what I look for. Number one is pasture raised. If you can find pasture raised chicken, that's gonna be the best there. A lot of people would expect me to go towards the organic, but I'm less worried about the organic feed than I am just that chicken is pasture raised and able to walk around. I just visited a chicken farm recently and he was talking about how he's not so concerned about the organic feed. He does corn and soy free chicken, which is amazing. You won't find that in most supermarkets, but try to get pasture raised chicken. And then when I do buy chicken, I'm going for those bone in skin on chicken thighs. Those are just the best. They taste the best. That juiciness comes off the bone. If you're just getting chicken breast, boneless, skinless, it's gonna be very difficult to make that in a recipe that's juicy. You're gonna have to really jus it up to make it really delicious. So yeah, that's what you want to go for right there. The next question is, Brendan, I'm in high school. What should I major in college? It's something that a lot of people struggle with. I remember, struggling with this. I originally went into business, and then I switched and went into medical anthropology at UC Santa Cruz. Listen, if you're going to do something really specific with a specific path, you definitely want to stick to that major. If you're I want to become a lawyer, there's a certain path you need to take. If you want to go into nursing, or if you want to become a doctor, there is a certain path you need to take. Engineering, same type of thing. But if you're just kind of lost and you don't know what you want to do and you're not going to go into one of those specific things, I would recommend just majoring in something that you're interested in, because at the end of the day, you're probably going to work in something that has nothing to do with your degree unless you're getting into something specific. So overall, I know that's sort of out there advice, but just major in something you're interested in, because honestly, when you start to go into the workspace and maybe you're getting a job in sales or marketing, it's very rare that someone's gonna ask you, what did you get your degree in? What did you major in? It's gonna matter more about work experience and stuff like that. Okay, the next question is, Brendan, do you use chapstick? What is your opinion on chapstick? So what I use for chapstick is beef tallow. Do I have some beef tallow right here? This is literally what I use for chapstick. Tiny bit of beef tallow right there on the fingertip. There you go. Normal chapsticks, a lot of the ingredients in chapstick are drying. So you want to watch out for that, because it's going to create this cycle where you're moisturizing your lips, but there's ingredients in there that are also sort of drying and actually remove moisture from the lips. And so you're creating this cycle where your lips are always dry. Beef tallow won't do that. Use beef tallow, or get a beef tallow chapstick, and that's what you want to do. The next question is, Brendan, what do you think of gluten-free bread? So I just wouldn't use it. First of all, you can just use lettuce and stuff like that, maybe potato. You don't really need to be eating gluten-free bread. If you're going to eat bread, just get a good sourdough. A really good sourdough, like a real sourdough, is gonna have very, very low levels of gluten. So you can pretty much avoid gluten by eating a really high quality sourdough. Now, if you're like, oh, I don't want, any amount of gluten really disturbs my gut, that's fine. Just don't eat bread. Don't try to get a bread substitute. Use lettuce, use something else. The next question is, what do I use when I shave? Like shaving products, stuff like that. So what I do, here's the first thing. You don't want to be using one of these 5-blade razors with strips on top and all this bullshit. That's just cutting your skin more and more. You don't need that to get a close shave. You can literally use a 1 or 2-blade razor. I have a 2-blade razor that doesn't have those moisture strips because it's literally putting like PFAS chemicals and horrible parabens like into your skin. So I don't use that whatsoever. I'll usually get in the sauna and then I'll get in the shower, put some hot water on my skin. I have a really natural shaving cream, which I'll link right here. It's Ondulu Naturals shaving cream. Really good ingredients right there. I think it's good. And I put that shaving cream on, I shave with that 2-blade razor, and then I put beef tallow on my face after I shave. That's what works for me. Don't use those 5-blade razors. You don't need that. Okay, so you want to know how to get the best sleep ever. Here's exactly how you can get the best sleep ever. So it starts with a multitude of factors. Number 1 is setting yourself up for sleep during the day. So have you limited your caffeine? Have you gotten exercise? Let's just take care of that. Let's put that, say you're doing that already. Once it comes time for you to get deep sleep, here's what you want to do. First of all, you want to make your environment dark. If you have the TV on, if you have lights on in your house, your body is not telling yourself that it is nighttime and it's time to sleep. So I make the room dark. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate because there's a lot of studies showing that magnesium can help with sleep. And then I'm going to take 2 of our deep sleep capsules. These are melatonin free, but they encourage the body to produce the chemicals like melatonin and other chemicals that will encourage deep sleep, GABA waves, all that type of stuff. And then you want to just like lay down in the dark, and your body will drift itself to sleep if you have set yourself up like that. If you're staring at your phone, getting blue light into your eyes, you're limiting your body's own melatonin production. You're just not going to set your body up for sleep. It's going to be on guard, which a lot of people are when they try to fall into rest. So set yourself up for good sleep. You can encourage it with some supplements. Good night. Okay, the next question is, Brendan, what do you think about fasting? Is fasting a good protocol? Especially if you're trying to lose weight, is fasting good? So here's the deal. If you want to do some intermittent fasting, it's been proven that that can help, but why it helps is calorie restriction. There's not like some crazy benefits that fasting provides that are going to help you lose weight. There are some studies showing that it can slightly boost your, human growth hormone. There's obviously the autophagy thing with your immune system that a lot of people talk about with fasting. I am into some of those benefits, but here's basically the overall deal. You need to burn a certain amount of calories during the day to lose weight. You need to be in a calorie deficit. Intermittent fasting is a good way to get there. And this just means taking a break in between your meals until you get really hungry. We are designed to be very adaptable in how much we eat. For most of human evolution, we weren't coming across 3-4 meals a day. I mean, think about it. It's just impossible. So we would go oftentimes, a full day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, weeks without eating. The human body can go a long time without food. But overall, I think it's really important to have enough energy to sustain your workouts and stuff like that. That's just a more rational way to go about it. So what I would recommend if you want to experiment with fasting for losing weight is maybe just cut out lunch. Have a good breakfast, protein-rich breakfast, cut out lunch, eat at dinner, and that's a really good protocol right there. Long-term fasting can have negative consequences. I'm not one of these long-term fast guys. I don't think it's good. Okay, next question is, Brendan, I'm in college, I'm in the dorms. How do I eat well? What do I do? Here's what you want to do. First, go buy an air fryer and put it in your dorm room. And I know that's like not allowed or whatever. I don't care. Just buy an air fryer, put it in your dorm room because you're going to make chicken there. You're going to make veggies. You're going to make healthy recipes in that air fryer. I'm sorry if you get kicked out of college for that, but that's just, hey, it's the best way to go about it. And then when you're out with your friends, there are good places to eat. You can go to Chipotle. There's a lot of meal services right now where you can get like pre-made meals, and some of them are really good, like I don't really have any that I recommend, but if you just go to one of those meal services and say, hey, make my meals without seed oils, make them high protein, you can get meals for like, $8 to $10 that are really, really delicious. The other thing you're gonna sneak into your dorm room is a blender to make protein shakes. So boom, you wake up in the morning, you start the day with a big protein shake, crack a couple eggs in there and stuff. Like you're gonna have like a lot of protein to fuel yourself, and then you come back from class or whatever, you cook something in your air fryer and you can eat that. So you don't have to be eating that dorm room food. A lot of the dorm foods and college food options are made by the same companies that make prison food. So Sodexo provides California prisons with food. They also provide colleges with food. You don't want to eat that crap. Okay, the next question is Brendan. Essentially, I sleep in the same bed as somebody else and they wake up at different times. Like they have, a different schedule than I'm on. How can I get deep sleep and manage this? So what you want to do here is there's certain things you can do to just like help your body stay asleep. So like you can get like an eye mask, an eye pillow, because then in the morning when light comes in, I'm assuming maybe if they wake up early and you're waking, you need to stay asleep, that's going to help your body right there not wake up, because when your body's exposed to light, it's going to, put in all those noradrenaline, cortisol, and you're going to wake up. So that's one thing you can do there. The other thing is just talking with your partner on like how important sleep is and figuring out a schedule where you can both get that 8 hours of sleep. It might mean going to bed earlier. It might mean that you go to bed earlier than her or vice versa, whatever it is. But you have to figure something out because getting 8 hours of sleep is essential. And if somebody is, getting into bed late or waking up way earlier than you, it's going to disturb your sleep cycle and you don't want that. The next question is, Brendan, does creatine cause anxiety? Like if I have anxiety and I take creatine, is that going to exacerbate those symptoms? Actually, quite the contrary. Creatine can help with brain health, and there's a lot of studies showing that creatine can positively impact, neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, depression, other things like that. Now, I haven't seen any studies specifically on creatine and anxiety, but if I were to guess, it would push the ball in the right direction, not the wrong direction in terms of anxiety. So if I struggled with anxiety, I would not limit creatine intake. I'd probably just continue to take my 5 grams of creatine per day. And I think that would honestly have some benefit to anxiety, if anything, not, it wouldn't encourage anxiety. The next question is, Brendan, what do you think about the app Yuka? It's like a barcode scanning app where it tells you if different foods are good or bad. Hey, I think it's a step in the right direction. I don't use that app. I don't really have a lot of familiarity with it at all. But if there's something in the store that's telling you, certain foods are, bad or good or what ingredients in there, first of all, just make sure that it's not trending in the vegan propaganda sort of way, which a lot of things are, because if something's high in cholesterol, it's it's bad because, it's bullshit. So I would just be careful that the app isn't pushing you in that direction. But if overall it's just letting you know some preservatives or coloring and, sugar that's in food that's, everyone knows is bad, that can be good, I guess. Sounds like a cool app. The next question is, Brendan, I'm dealing with sciatica. What do I do? So first of all, diet is important. You do want to lower the amount of inflammatory cytokines that your body's producing. So just eat a good diet. But then you're going to get into the movement stuff. What I want you to look up is FRC sciatica on YouTube, and you're going to do some of those exercises. You want to do a really aggressive corrective exercise protocol if you're dealing with sciatica. You want to really get after that and create, segmentation in your spine, be able to, move your lower back freely. If you're just gripped up right there, you're going to have issues with that nerve that comes through there, and that's what happens with sciatica. So you want to be really careful about that and get after it. Make a corrective exercise protocol for yourself. Fix that. Okay, the next question is, Brendan, I've been hearing a lot of advertisements for Bloom and Athletic Greens. What do you think about these greens powders? Should I invest in one? So my answer is no, you definitely shouldn't. These greens powders are not really a good spend in your money in terms of supplements that you can get that are going to benefit you. Vitamin D, magnesium, creatine, a good protein powder, ashwagandha, supplement like Tongat Ali even. These are way better spends and they're way more research than greens powders. Greens powders take basically dehydrated grasses and broccoli and stuff like this raw. So first of all, they're really rich in oxalic acid, which is not good for you. And then you're adding these to your water, and people think of them as healthy, and these companies have big advertising budgets because there's a lot of margin in this product because it's cheap. It's bullshit. And you mix it up and it looks bright green, which everybody thinks, oh my God, it's so healthy. It's bright green. It must be healthy. You're not really getting a lot of absorbable nutrients from those greens powders. The form of vitamin A is off. It's in beta carotene. It's not in retinol. You're not getting really a good amount of B vitamins compared to a small chunk of beef liver, or some egg yolks or something like that. So invest in real whole foods. And if you want to take supplements, use supplements that have a lot of research behind them. Get a good protein powder. You're going to benefit far more from a good protein powder than a greens powder. All right, guys, that is this week's AMA back from Costa Rica. We got a lot of stuff planned coming up. We're releasing vitamin D and magnesium through Santa Cruz Paleo. Really stoked on that. We're still working on the grass-fed, grass-finished whey protein. It might be a little while there as we continue our research there, finding the perfect formula for you. So yeah, we really do the deep work to find good products for you guys, and we will release them soon. But yeah, appreciate you guys so much. You can go to santacruzpaleo.com now and order all the products that you want from us from there. And I appreciate you guys. Leave your comments below and I will get to them again next week. Any health and wellness, questions you have, anything about life, advice in general, I'm here for you. Leave your comments below. Thank you.